What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Christian here again with another video, and this time we're going to be talking about the state of neutral after the patch, okay, and the shadow patches. Do I think neutral is better now after it's been a couple weeks after post patch? I do believe it is. So I went into quick play here, and I'm going to be slowing down my gameplay. I'm going to be playing a lot more methodical than usual, trying to practice punishes and see if I could get a bearing on what neutral is like right now. And what I discovered was that the tracking on punishes is still too bad to be consistent, so it makes neutral kind of like a guessing game still. Now it is a lot better than before when sidesteps were really strong. Vanish spam was very strong because tracking was so bad it couldn't keep up with the sidestep speed. So all people did was vanish because it had better tracking than the actual combos. Now light chain attacks track sidestep a lot better, which is making neutral more interesting because you can start your offense a lot easier. There is more offensive play being done, so people are more willing to act and not just stand in front of each other just waiting for somebody to miss. So basically, double sidestep is not true anymore, whereas previously you could just sidestep into sidestep and be passive in order to start your offense. Now you can't just spam sidestep because you're gonna get caught with a light chain attack and eat a combo from the front, okay? Now, light smashes to punish light chain attacks is not consistent. It's kind of hit or miss because sometimes light chain attacks will just clash with the first hit and then you'll eat a whole combo afterwards. Doing light smashes to punish light chain attacks sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. Doing a step into gut punch or step into sweep is also inconsistent to punish light chain spam because of the tracking issues. So close matches sometimes are decided by just random tracking issues still, and characters such as Piccolo here, which is why I got him on screen, have less tracking than other characters compared to, for example, Gohan. Sometimes I will attempt a combo and just phase through the opponent, so the tracking is still not perfect. And for that reason, it makes neutral in this game not as good as it could be, but I do think it is better than it previously was when vanish spam was very strong. Now, another thing that is kind of lame in my opinion is that they buffed revenge counter. So revenge counter has a lot more tracking to it vertically, so you can't just elevator and dodge it. Revenge counter is really influencing the results of games like way too much because it only costs 2 skill points. So you're gonna see a lot of revenge countering in a match potentially, and if you do know how to exploit it, then basically you are gonna have a clear advantage in neutral over the opponent just because they don't have knowledge on the glitch, okay? And it is a glitch. Basically you could just cancel your end lag after a revenge counter and make yourself act a lot sooner than you're supposed to be able to. And so that is basically a knowledge check. If you don't know that glitch, you're gonna get exposed every time a revenge counter is used, okay? Another thing that's very exposable is that people know how to block after a sonic sway and some don't, and the game will not tell you how to do it. So the people who know how to do that have a clear advantage in matches versus the people who don't know how to do it. And that's the thing about this game, is that your results are predicated on you knowing the exploits, you knowing the glitches in the game, which make it kind of annoying, and make it not fun for the casual players. Another thing that's kind of like a knowledge check in the game is that some people know how to instantly turn around while others don't, and the people who know how to do that obviously have an advantage as well. And I think it's like this game will not teach you any of that in the tutorial because basically it might be a bug causing that. So that's the thing. So any new player who coming into this game is gonna get exposed by all those knowledge checks, and there's no one to really explain how to do any of them because everyone just kind of gatekeeps the information, okay? So I'm attempting to learn how to do it. I still haven't figured it out, but once I do, I will be making a video about it so I could kind of equalize the playing field here. As far as revenge counter, I do know how to do it. You basically just press circle after you get hit by a revenge counter, allowing you to act sooner. But the thing is, like, the window to input that circle is kind of quick, And if you don't have it in your muscle memory, you might miss a couple and it might cost you a match here and there, you know. But if you're playing really good players, they basically know how to exploit it, so it makes your revenge counter useless. So make sure you practice that if you are trying to compete against top level opponents. Overall, what I can say is that neutral is slightly better than it was, but it's still a lot of guesswork going on. It's still a lot of random shit that kind of ruins intentional play. A lot of the time it is better to kind of spam. I do perform better when I'm spamming more attacks as opposed to being more intentional, because the punish game is just inconsistent. It's not, you know, really rewarding you to be as intentional. You know, it's rewarding more volume of attacks right now, which is fine. I think it's fine compared to passively just sidestepping back and forth. But I do wish punish game was a little bit stronger and more intentional. I think it could set this game a little bit more apart and make it more high quality if the punish game was more consistent and the tracking was more consistent. But we'll see if the game can ever get to that point. Okay, and as I mentioned before, I really don't want them changing the core gameplay too often, too fast. So I'm kind of scared to kind of just say, okay, let's keep patching the game and try to make the punish game better. Where really I just feel like they should just leave the core gameplay alone for a while and just add content to the game. If they want to make the punish game more consistent later, then they should do it in a season patch, maybe when the ranks reset or something like that. But as it stands now, I think the game is in a good spot overall. So I'm pretty happy with it overall. If it didn't have all the glitches, it would be even better. But let's see if Bandai does anything about that. Okay, so as far as the gameplay, as you see, I'm being a little bit more intentional, a little bit slower to act. I'm trying to punish people and their movements to see if it works. But, you know, I'm having mixed results. And here I try to go sparking just to be funny, because I pretty much won the game, but I'm in quick play, so I don't really care about winning all that much. I just want to end it with a special beam cannon, but he won't let me go sparking. So the two things that are most annoying about neutral right now, in my opinion, is super perception just costing 1 skill point, because basically they could just spam super perception the whole match, which is kind of annoying. And in my opinion, revenge counters only costing 2 skill points, basically deciding matches against top level opponents. And you know, the people who can exploit revenge counter better basically are getting dubs for free, which I think is kind of annoying. I think it's like, in my opinion, revenge counter, when it was weak, the game was better. Like, we didn't really need that mechanic in the game overall, and it kind of showed that when the base game came out. Revenge counter was so weak that basically if you ever used it, you just got instantly punished. But really nobody really complained about that, because there's so many defensive mechanics in this game to get out of combos and stuff like that, that revenge counter being weak is really not the end all be all to this game, in my opinion. But it would be great if they could just get rid of the input cancel glitch, so that revenge counter could work as intended, and that would make super perception cost 2 skill points, so that it's not as spammable during the match. And if we could get the tracking issues in a better spot, then I think this game could stop messing with the core gameplay long term, and it would be in a good spot overall. So in this last match, I'm fighting a TN, and as you see, I'm going to be attempting some punishes here, and let's see how they perform here. So as you see, more volume of attacks is more rewarded now, because sidestep is not as strong. And you see, when I punish with a light smash attack there, it threw my tracking off, so my combos didn't link. Luckily I spammed through it and got the hit, but a lot of times it'll just miss and stop my combo right there, making light smash punishes not that good overall, you know. And you see, my opponent is way more offensive than me, and he's just being rewarded for it. So in my opinion right now, spamming is slightly better than being methodical. But when I do open him up, I can get my damage off and finish the match. Now if you guys like this video, go ahead and like and sub. I'm coming with a DP battle team with Piccolo, so look out for that one. I'll catch you on the next one. and peace out.